Welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and welcome to a state of the collection video. The last state of the collection video I did, I believe it was around 7 months ago, and in that 7 months it's been a hell of a journey. While I review watches, I also like to keep an eye on my hobby, and I have my own thinking pattern of what I want to get and my own collection rules, etc. Everyone's got their own little rules and things they go by. So yeah, it's been an interesting year, or 7 months should I say. And in that time I've accumulated quite a few watches, and I've also sold a few watches. I ended up selling quite a few of the common Aliexpress watches, which I know I can probably get again, but I've kept probably the more difficult to attain Aliexpress watches, mainly the discontinued stuff. But as always, the collection is too much. There's so many watches here, not everything gets worn, but I think as a collector that's what you end up doing, just collecting, having stuff sitting there. So let's go ahead. I've tried to break it down into a few categories. So in front of you, I'm going to take you through my dressy or sporty watches, all automatics of course. Then I'll go through, I don't know, the quartz watches, and then I'll hit you with the divers. So let's start and get into it. So let's start off the top row, and to my far left at the top I've got my Saab SCVS 001. I made a video about this the day I got it, and just off chance found it on eBay. It was very well priced and I ended up picking it up. Now the SCVS line comes with these gorgeous continental bracelets, the JDM only models, and this is quite rare now, and I don't know why Seiko don't do bracelets like this. I mean, this is such a beautiful bracelet to have, and just overly very proportionate, very slim bracelet. Of course, it's got the same issue that you get on the Saabs, is with that 2-pin micro adjustment and not enough half links. But it's a bit tricky to size for a 6.5-inch wrist. So yeah, this is one of the watches that I have. I love it. It does get worn on special occasions. Next up is the Saab 33. Now with the Saab 33, I went across to Uncle Seiko. I bought myself a Saab 37 reproduction dial, and while I was there I found Uncle Seiko do a continental bracelet also. So if you want to get your hands on one of these bracelets for your Saabs, I highly recommend them. Uncle Seiko also upgrade the clasp, give you 3 micro adjustments. It does allow for that extra bit of adjustment on there. However, they also sell Saab 33 or 35 half links, so you can also get that. So effectively I'm putting this bracelet on there. I've turned it into a Saab SCVS 003, but of course this one does have a chapter ring, whereas that one didn't. So yeah, I think this bracelet really does complement the Saab 33. So that's there. And then let's go on to the reproduction. This is a Saab 35 initially. I made a couple of videos about it, and I went ahead and modified this with that salmon dial. And over the time I've had this, it seems to me like, even the lume has slightly tinted according to that salmon. So it looks a bit creamier and not as white as it did. And I really like this watch, and I do wear it time to time. As you can see, that gorgeous dial. Next up is the Alpinist Saab 17. I've got it on a mil-tap bracelet, I believe, and I've also bought a bracelet from them. And I can't upgrade this bracelet. I think I can get slimmer links, so I might do that because these links are quite thick. But again, a watch that does get worn quite often. I really like the Alpinist line. It's a great watch, very nice field watch, and it also has that dressy sort of look to it as well. Next up, one of my newer purchases, and this also comes with a strap cord bracelet. This is the Asteroid bracelet. I think it's a bit of a cross between a couple of bracelets, but it looks good. It really does suit the watch. And this is of course the blue dial Alpinist. Yeah, I've been waiting to get this ever since that dial color came out. And there's one more Alpinist which I want to get, is of course the black dial SPB, I think 117J. So I have got my eyes open for that, just to complete that Alpinist collection. Moving on to my latest mod. I did end up taking the video down for obvious reasons, but this is the King Seiko case bracelet, all OEM of course, and I've gone for an aftermarket grey sunburst style with some aftermarket GS style hands, 37mm case. So I modified my own one, and yeah, I'm really happy with this. The cocktail time, I probably think this is the best cocktail time dial they do. Just that way that light goes off that dial, that gradient, this gear shape pattern, those hour markers, hands, etc. Everything just fits so well. Signed cupcake crown, and overall a very nice looking dress watch. Now let's move up to the bottom. So this is one of my Aliexpress ones, and this is a field watch. It's a Chinese one. It's made by Merca. It's a hand-winding mechanical Chinese movement, and yeah, there's just so many nice things about this watch. And the first one I had ended up breaking it through my own misuse. However, Merca then released it with a beads of rice bracelet, and I purchased this one from them as soon as I found out it was released. Look at that box, Cardex crystal, and yeah, it's just the case shape more than anything is gorgeous on this. It fits really well on wrist, and you know, this peach style or off whatever salmon style dial you want to call it does really suit it with those broad Dauphine brushed hands. Everything about it is so nice. Probably one of the more underrated watches on Aliexpress. And Merca, you know, being Merca, the funny brand that they are, they do loads of different variants in this exact same case, and they all come with that bracelet now. So head on to Aliexpress, check out Merca, you will not be disappointed. Next up is the Sugies. You know exactly what watch this is homaging. Now this is the V1. I did make a video about the new V3 release. It's got the clone 7750 movement, and my one is functioning, working really well. I've had it ever since I did the review, so you gotta go back to the video, see exactly how long, but it's been over 6 months at least, and everything works. I really like how well it's built. Next up is the Seestern. This is the GS homage. It's homaging the Heritage line. Built amazingly well, and I think they could have done so much better with some of the dial choices, but from the current collection and the dial options, this is probably the best looking one. You've got that brushed silvery white dial, that blued seconds hand, crazy finishing on those hands, and yeah, everything else is really well made. Great bracelet as well. You know, finishing is top quality, and a really nice watch from Seestern, and this gets worn quite often as well. It's probably one of the few white dials or silver dials I own as well, so enjoy wearing that quite a lot. Now let's get back to Seiko. This is the SNSX line. Loads of models. This is probably one of my favorite ones with that great sunburst dial. While it's a very cheap budget watch, it does have a few issues, but even that cheap bracelet fits so well, extremely comfortable on wrist. I love that grey sunburst, and not too much of a fan of the date, but you know, this is what these watches have, and it's always an enjoyable wear. Great beta and a very good introductory, you know, automatic watch. If you're not into automatic watches, consider getting yourself one of these. Readily available, and you know, around the £100 mark, you know, on sale. So really affordable, great looking watch from Seiko. Same model here. This one's been modded, and it features a mint Roman numeral dial. So this was modded by myself. And there you go. Yeah, again, you know, a sharp bright color just makes it pop, and I made this mod not as much to wear but more to look at, because I really like the way it looks, and I have worn it a few times, so that's a very nice looking dial there. And then I bought one of these, just I don't know why. It was the listing, the person who did the listing on eBay, the pictures were so great, and I fell in love more with that sunburst gold dial. A very nice looking dial, great quality also. Full gold watch, you know, if you'd asked me maybe 2 years ago, I'd say hell no, I'd never buy one. However, I have worn this a few times, and it looks okay. You know, it's something that you can definitely get used to. It's a bit of a Marmite thing. You either do like full gold watches or you don't, but I do like to wear this from time to time. Only Citizen in my collection. This is the Citizen NB10401. I did do an unboxing on this, and I wanted to review this and pit it against the Saab 33. Now let me know if you guys want to see that video. I just haven't got around to doing it. I've just been busy with all sorts of other things, but what I can say, this is such a really well built watch from Citizen, punching above its asking price. I think these are brand new, £250, but they give you so much. It gives you a Miyota high beat movement. That's one of the main things. Decorated beautifully. The watch is finished beautifully as well, and the bracelet is something else. And I think if the Saab 33 came at the same time as this would definitely smash the lights out of it in a one-on-one. This is another modded watch, and you know, if you saw it, I did do a mod on the channel. I've put an aftermarket Silver Alpinist dial, and this is similar to a SNSX, however it's slightly different. And what I liked about this is that top hat mineral glass, and then I updated this to the NH35 movement as well, so it does wind, hack, etc. And I've put it on some beat up presidential strap from Watch Gecko or something. And yeah, I mean, I don't wear it as often, and I think I just wanted to do the modern more than anything. Now let's introduce you to the quartz selection. So I've got a fair few quartz watches, and I have said in the past when I've done my previous state of the collections is that, you know, when it came to the quartz watches, I really liked the 90s 2000s era that Seiko gave us. You know, very like uniquely made quartz watches, bags full of character. They just look so different. And nowadays, if you look at the quartz range, you know, very rarely do you get a model that's great looking. They are very generic, even the chronograph stuff. There's nothing that really appeals to me. So, and this was like the stuff I collected in, I think, in my year one of this hobby, and not the YouTube reviews. And if you want to see any of these, I mean, I'm not going to remember the model numbers for every single one, but in my year one of YouTube reviewing, I reviewed, I think, all of these, because I was relying on my own watches to review, because at that point in time, I didn't have anybody giving me watches. So let's start from right, and this is the Daytona quartz. This is Mark II, and you know, going back to what I said, just so much character. It looks very different to the watches that are out there. It's got an aluminium bezel, an old Seiko quartz movement, and that functions still extremely accurately. And this is the, what's the movement? It's a 76-2 OCV0. Next up is actually the Mark I Daytona, and it looks very similar. It's just got less crowns on the Mark II. This being the first one, you've got a total of 5 crowns on there. You know, they do all the same features. And this one has stopped running. I think I need to change the battery on this. It just goes to show I don't really wear them. But, you know, when it comes to selling them, you know, you're not going to get yourself another one of these. And they're in pretty decent condition, and the strap I've put this on is a Merkur strap, and it seems to fit really well. This is probably the most complicated chronograph that I own. Again, another Seiko, and I did do a review on this as well. And you know what, this is the best value chronograph I think that Seiko have ever done. Very complicated movement, loads of complications. It's a perpetual calendar, but the build quality is astounding. Literally, go back to the review that I did, and if you want me to review it again, I really wouldn't mind. I mean, just look at the dimensions on the dial, look at those layering of that dial. You've got this sort of curved, like, you know, raised chapter ring. You've got these little sub dials, you've got these blued hands, this very sharp, crisp detailing. The hour markers are finished exceptionally well. The bracelet is good, female end links, you know, very comfortable bracelet. But the things that this watch can do, I think the equivalent Swiss models would be worth, you know, hundreds, if not up to the thousands. And the great thing about this is the perpetual calendar has been programmed into this watch up until the year 2100. So this, if it keeps ticking, you keep the battery changed. You don't need to literally touch this watch to change the date or anything like that. So just give you a quick overview of what it does. It tells you the date. So if you look at the moon side, this is the date we're on. Press it again, it'll tell you what month you're in. And if you press it again, it'll also tell you what leap year you're in. So if we go back, you'll also see the date there. You'll also see the day there. On the top sub dial, you've got an alarm here, or a secondary time zone, running seconds to the 9. If you hit the B button, that'll reset to chronograph mode, and you can see the little arrow pointing towards chronograph. Activate it, there you go, your chronograph is now active. You've got the tachymeter at the top. Press it again, reset, and just that sweep, you know, the way everything resets, and press it again, it'll go back to your previous settings. This watch does so much. You know, you can watch these hands all day long, and there's just so much detailing going on. Really well built, and they were cheap. I think August was selling these a year or two ago at £125, £130. And you know, if you're lucky enough, you might find them on eBay. But definitely something to get hold of. There's just so much going on with this watch. Next up, I've got a Parnis. You exactly know what watch it's homaging. I love that mint dial. That's the only reason I've got it. That mint versus the black. I put an aftermarket bracelet on there because the one that Parnis gave was no good, and the clasp was hideous. And yeah, it's not, you know, the bracelet is what it is, but the watch is incredible. I love wearing this from time to time. It's just that green dial, I can't get away from it. And you know, with my collection, it's just based purely on that. There's one feature that I might like about the watch, and that'll be enough for me to keep hold of it. So really good and very accurate watch. Next up is going back to what I said with those chronographs being quite unique. This is a pilot watch, as you can tell. Just Again, so many features, solar powered. I've actually run out of battery on this one because I didn't keep it charged. I didn't wear it long enough, and it ended up being in a dark box. But I've got no doubt, had I kept it charged, I think it still would be working now. So I will be doing a battery change, and I might make a video on it in case no one knows how to do that. Bi-directional, like friction bezel. Yeah, stunning looks. Again, looks complex. They call it a flight computer. A whole host of features, very accurate, a bit on the large side. So I might, you know, change the battery, actually sell this one. Yeah, I've just kind of grown out of this one now, but when I first bought it, absolutely loved it. The furthest one to the left is, this is one of my newest acquisitions, but the watch is quite old. It's a vintage SQ quartz model. And yeah, I do have a couple of SQ quartz models, literally 2. And this one, you guys probably know why I bought it. Just look at that color combination, the gold, that piano black dial. It just looks good. Day window is a spoiler, but you know, you can't get away from that being Seiko, you know, applied Seiko gold brush logo. And the model number is, or the movement is, what is it? It's 5Y238A60. Yeah, so this again is just for nostalgic purposes, and you know, it does look good on wrist, very comfortable as well. The next SQ quartz I've got, again, very similar to the previous one in terms of, you know, why I bought it. But that dial is awesome. Just look at that texture on that dial. Solid white hands. Bracelet's lovely. K-shape is great as well. And the bracelet itself, bit of a hair puller, but very, very comfortable. And a very thin watch, small, you know, dimensions. It fits well, and it's, you know, it is a pleasure to wear because something, you know, that's a bit old. And yeah, do really like this. Moving on next, I think same era as the Daytonas that I showed you guys. You know, again, chronograph, quartz, flight computer, whatever you want to call it. I love the crown design on this. You've got the stopwatch pusher here, activates that chronograph hand with that orange tip on there. Resets it, that's, you know, smooth sweep across. The screw down crown, so 100 meters of water resistance only on this one, but you get a nice sort of bulbous crown on there. Yeah, I like everything about it. You also got an internally rotating bezel. So yeah, just so many features, and yeah, very unique K-shape. It's like a 24mm log width. So the bracelet version of this is massive. And this is a 7T620HMO. So yeah, this is going to be part of the collection. You hardly see these up for sale. You get the odd one after, you know, a year or so. So this is definitely going to be a keeper and part of the collection for the foreseeable future. Then move on to the escapement time, the 40mm King Seiko homage. You know, there's no reason, and you know, I don't have to tell you why I've got one of these. Gorgeous watch, great cream color dial. It has a VH31 hybrid quartz movement, so you get the little, you know, quicker tick or a bit of a sweep from that quartz hand. Dauphine hands, lovely case. And do not ask me about the bracelet. This bracelet is from the cocktail time, so you have to get cocktail time in order for you to wear this on a bracelet. And you know, I just tried it one day and it fits perfectly well. Look how good that fit is with the female endings as well. Stunning watch, and I've just kept hold of mine. You know, they're not very expensive, and you know, these are very popular. I think this is what made escapement time effectively when they come out this watch. You know, the amount of, you know, the amount of batches they must have made and sold, you know, I can't even imagine how many that was. And they also came out different colors, so this is definitely one to have in your collection. So next up on the list is the Seiko Kinetic BFK. I'll let your imagination work out what the BFK stands for, but it stands for Big Kinetic. Yeah, and this watch is an absolute bruiser. Massive, and I bought this a while ago. I did have the silver version, but I sold that and ended up getting one of these because I seen this black, and of course black and red with that yellow accent, which looks amazing. I really did like the look of this watch. Now, because it's a kinetic movement, it's basically quartz, but it's powered by this little weight, sort of like a dynamo that keeps it powered, and therefore you have to keep this on wrist. Now, the battery's dead. I haven't worn it in a while, and once the capacitor does die, you need to get a new one. So I need to change the capacitor on this. When I do, I'll be sure to make a video, but what is stopping me is because I don't think I'm going to wear it as often, so I'll be back in that same position. But you know, it's a 200-meter rated diver. Really nice large hour markers, amazing loom, you know, great handset, and there's a lot of things I like about this. And I wish Seiko made this into an automatic. That would be a very popular watch, but as you guys can see, it is a bit of a beast. Moving on next is we've got the classical Flighty, 200 meters of water resistance, screw down crown, screw down pushers, you know, stunning looks. Again, another flight computer, looks complicated as anything. Love that dome, Heimdallr crystal that they use, and yeah, you know, there's nothing more to say on this. So that's definitely going to be a keeper. Now, something a bit more modern, a bit more contemporary. This is the Conceptual series. I think this is 36mm or just a touch under, sapphire crystal. You know, great little detailed bracelet as well. And yeah, quartz movement. Of course, the quartz movement doesn't hit any of the markers. But I did an unboxing on this. I mean, this is not too expensive as well. I did do a review. But I think I might move this on because it is a bit small and it doesn't get much wear. But I still have held on to it, and you know, there's not something which I look at and I think, oh, let me wear it, because I've got other great, you know, quartz watches that I should be wearing. So this I think will be going up for sale. But female end links, yeah, this watch has a lot going for it, and it is a good watch, especially looking at the price that they sell this at. Polished highlights, yeah, very well made. So I think we're on the last quartz, and this is a bit of a mod. You know, it's a DT case. As you can see, it's an enamel dial, and it's got some aftermarket text, logos on there. Very comfortable watch, very sporty and very accurate. I think it's a Seiko VK64 movement. The strap is a Seestern rubber strap, very comfortable FKM rubber. And yeah, this is just worn now and then, you know, if I'm doing anything sporty. So that's it for the quartz collection. Let me pull these back and let me bring out the automatic divers for you guys. Okay, so let's move on to the automatic divers, and let's start off with some Seikos. And okay, so let's start off with the Gen 2 Seiko Monster. I have both the black dial and the orange dial. Not much to say on these. Incredible looking watches. I prefer these over the Gen 1 and over the Gen 3s also. And yeah, both are, you know, getting quite rare. Not that you can't get them anymore. And the orange ones really did explode about a year and a half ago, maybe, going up to £800, something like that. It was absolutely ridiculous. But I got these both at very reasonable prices. So they are definitely going to be in the collection for the foreseeable future. Super iconic Seiko dive watches. And this is where I think the era Seiko was absolutely smashing it. You know, irrespective of the specification, you know, the mineral class versus sapphire, you know, I don't really care about that. But just the sheer looks, aesthetics that you get, you know, nobody else has made a watch like this from any of the other brands. And Seiko literally created such an iconic watch that is recognizable almost everywhere. So that's one there. Another one is the Baby Tuna, the yellowfin. I've actually got two of these, but the frost style version I've actually got it for sale, and it's packed away in its box ready to go out, so I won't be bringing that part of the collection. But I decided to keep the yellowfin, you know, black yellow, great combination. It's an aftermarket beads of rice bracelet. The day date is probably stopping me from wearing it, you know, more often than I'd like to, but you know, I do tend to put it on now and then. Next up, I've got like 3 samurai cases here. You know, I do really like the samurai cases from Seiko. This is a samurai case from Proxima, and I modified this with a monster dial. So best of both, really. Stunning looks, and yeah, the dial just pops for me, and I've shown this on video before, so this is definitely a great watch to wear. Next up is the basic samurai, the grey waffle dial. Yeah, again, every time I put this watch on, I just remember how much I love this case. Yeah, one of my favorite watches from Seiko. Next up is a mod, genuine case, bracelet is strap code, genuine dial, however the hands are aftermarket as well. So this is probably, you know, just a beefed up version to the samurai. This is the King Samurai, you know, with the ceramic insert and that cyclops. Great dial. So I might actually put the standard samurai hands in there. But yeah, you know, really nice watch to wear, and that strap cord bracelet makes it super heavy, and when it's on wrist it does feel like a very substantial watch. Moving on, next is, of course, you gotta have a turtle if you're a Seiko fan. This is the King Turtle. I've had a couple in the past, but you know, this is the ones I've decided to keep. You know, that manta ray dial is one of my favorite dials from Seiko, but the case is one of the most comfortable cases that you can ever wear. And this one's got a few scratches which I don't know how it got there, but yeah, you know, I do wear this from time to time. and one of my favorite watches from Seiko again. So I think when it comes to the Seiko line, you know, I've got the Turtles, Samurai, Monsters, Baby Tuners. I've also got the SKX line. So there's 3 iconic SKXs that you want that actually have SKX in the name. Starting off with the SKX 033 or the 035. This one is modified with an aftermarket Comex dial. And, you know, I really do like this watch. And this is the actual, you know, sub-homage. I know the SKX 007 was called a sub-homage for I don't know what reason, but the SKX 33 or the 35, this is the actual one. They do come in a few range of bezel and, you know, dial options. This has been upgraded with the NH36 S crown as well. Very comfortable. I think it's a 38mm watch. Yeah, you know, the bracelet isn't all that at all, but this has been modified also. You've got a raised or a domed Heimdallr crystal. With a ceramic insert. Is it aluminium? Sorry, aluminium, not ceramic. But yeah, it is a good looking watch and it fits very well on wrist. Then you've got the SKX 13. You know, everyone knows how popular these watches are or how famous they are. A lot of history behind them as well. And 38mm, the baby brother of the SKX 007. Now, I do own an SKX 007. However, I've given it to my granddad to wear because he needed a watch. And what a better watch than the SKX 007 to give it to him. So he's currently wearing that. So those are the SKX trio that I think as a Seiko fan or a Seiko collector you should have in your collection. Now moving on to any more Seikos. Well, we've run out of original Seikos now to look at, so let's start looking at the homages or the mods. So I do have a few more modded versions here. Let's start off with the 62 mass homage, genuine dial, but it's an aftermarket case from 54 watch. And yeah, you know, there's not much to say. Really like the looks, love how it weighs. I think it's 37mm in diameter, and a really good, you know, basic dive watch to have with a lot of nostalgia behind it. Next we move on to the Steeldive. I think the SD1970, probably by far the best value for money watch on Aliexpress, hands down. This was the first homage watch I bought from Aliexpress, and this is the version 1. It comes with a different coin edge bezel, and yeah, amazing watch, really well built. And you know, up until this day, you know, YouTube reviewers are reviewing these watches from Steeldive. So many people have reviewed this watch, going up, you know, to the likes of is it Jody from Just One More Watch, to, you know, pretty much every startup watch channel. So yeah, they really did well with this model. Next up, I've got 2 great dive watches from Merca. Discontinued. You will never get these again from Merca. I don't know why. And you know, when I reviewed these watches, they were very popular. A lot of people wanted them. Loads of interest in there. And anyone who does have one knows exactly what I'm talking about. These watches are built so damn well. I ended up nicknaming these the King Willards, because you know, they're just a beefed up version to the 6105. Great finishing. You know, nice crown, awesome bezel. And amazing loom. So everything with this watch is just done perfectly right, and I need Merca to go back to making dive watches, because these are the best dive watches they've made, hands down. Even a great, you know, rubber strap that they provide. This is aftermarket bracelet, so I am glad I managed to get 2 of these, and these do get worn now and then, but every time I do wear them, you know, I really enjoy wearing them. Next up, I've got Zelos. Now, I have owned a few Zelos watches. I've done a few reviews of them, and what it comes down to is I think the Swordfish is probably the best Zelos, you know, they've ever done. This is the Swordfish 40. You know, they've done, don't get me wrong, they've done, you know, the £15,000 watches. They've done a very expensive watches, but when the Swordfish 40 came out, for what you got for the money, I think they were brand new around £230 or whatever, £250. NH35, this gave you such a great package. The bracelet down to the build quality, the case, you know, the color options were all fantastic, ticked every box and more. So this is the teal version. I did have another couple of versions prior, but I stuck with the teal version. It's something which does stick out and quite iconic. So you have to have a Zelos in your watch collection. Now the other Zelos which I ended up keeping purely because of the dial is this one, the Crimson Black Tip. And I had, I think, a different version before, and then I found a, you know, Crimson one for sale. Ended up getting it, and you know, it has been in the collection ever since. And you know, I do use this quite a lot. Again, great case shape, Miyota high beat movement, you know, so looks quite good. So I always keep an eye on Zelos, but not all of them are quite appealing. You know, the hammerheads are too big, etc. Some of them are too expensive, but I think Yeah, they've done really well with these two models, and I know the Spearfish is another promising one, so I might be looking at a Spearfish, who knows. But I really did want the GMT Thresher, but I was just too late to get that, and you know Zelos, once it's gone, it's very difficult to get. So yeah, these two are really good watches from Zelos. Now, nearly drawing to a close, I've got a Merca here, so I've got a Proxima here, the SBDX 001 homage. Yeah, it's been modified by myself. I have shown you this watch a few times on this channel, and I still got mine. You know, double dome, sapphire crystal, great aftermarket dial, solid watch, monoblock case construction, fully solid bracelet. Don't like how long the length of these links is, but you know, that is quite close to the watch they are homaging. And I managed to get myself a actual ratchet clasp, so just wearing this, you know, bracelet on this MM300, you know, really does complete the whole feeling that you expect to get. So yeah, really well made with Proxima, and they do the best SBDX 001 homage, hands down. No one has actually beaten them as of yet. Remolti are possibly close, but that's an MM200. So, but with this particular design, this is what Proxima did so well. And I think the latest addition to divers, yeah, it's the Revelo Hex Mariner 39. I don't have any subcases, as you can see in the collection. However, when you know, Revelo sent this over, I was more than impressed. That 39mm wears so damn well, and it wears closer to like a 37, 38. The watch is built well. You know, I really like what they've got going on the dial. Could not fault them, and everything about the watch, including the bracelet, everything is just built so well, and it's so different. It doesn't really come across as a sub homage, which is why I like it. So this from Revelo is definitely staying in the collection for the foreseeable future, just because of the size and how well it wears. So that's it, guys. This is the end of the state of the collection. Don't have any more watches to show you guys. I have a couple, but you know, they're put away, and you know, they're not something which I consider part of the collection, so to say. And yeah, it's been a bit quiet on the dive watch side. I haven't really bought any dive watches in the past few months. I am looking to get myself a MM200. I did buy a Steel Master, so with the steel bezel, but same issue which everybody's having. It was underperforming on the movement, and it was misaligned. So I'm actually going to go ahead and build myself a SPB 207, which is the green dial MM200. I'm just waiting for the parts and the bits and pieces to arrive, so I can put that together and not pay the ridiculous high amount the Seiko one, which is at about £1,000. So that's it, guys. If you want to know anything more about any of the watches which I haven't reviewed, please let me know. There is one that I haven't covered, and this is the Nodus Retrospect. This is the what do they call it, the Vault edition. And this is the Retrospect 2, I believe, 1 or 2, either of them. But they do these special editions, which are only available through, if you subscribe, I think, to their Vault, or you know, whatever they call it. This is the green and gilt version. It's got like a opposite sloping bezel. I really like that. Great dial. You know, green and gilt, you can't go wrong. But they also do a blue and gilt, red and gilt, some really nice royal colors. Bracelets, everything is really nice about this. And Nodus are one of my favorite micro brands, if not my most favorite micro brand. But you know, because they're based in the USA, it's quite difficult to get hold of their watches. But they do have Watch Gecko retailing for them, so I might be keeping an eye on some of the other models. I do like the Sector, and I do really like the Avalon, but I haven't got the Avalon 2 because they don't do a stainless steel bezel for it anymore. The Avalon 1 did have that, and yeah, it's just very difficult to get. But shout out to Levi. He's one of the subscribers on this channel. He actually helped me source this from the USA because that's where he's based, and he actually went out and got it for me and posted it to me. And you know, I sent him the cash over, etc. So Levi, you know, every time I look at the watch, I remember you, mate, and I really appreciate what you did. You know, going out your way, getting me this beautiful Nodus Retrospect in this color option. So yeah, this is the last watch to complete the dive watch collection. But as I was saying, nothing really on the dive watch front except for one mod that I'm going to do. And this is it, guys. 7 months later, you know, collection has changed slightly, but there is a core selection of watches that I don't think I'll get rid of. So nothing else to say, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.